Hey guys, welcome to Mad Scientist BBQ. I'm Jeremy Yoder, and today we're smoking a non-traditional barbecue item, but I've always thought it would be great smoked. Today we are cooking beef Ossobuco. If you've never heard of Ossobuco, you may have heard about it through Italian food. In Italian it means bone with a hole, Ossobuco. And this comes from Porter Road. I want to thank Porter Road for sponsoring today's video. But I've had Ossobuco twice in my life, both times at Italian restaurants, both times very disappointing. It was either complete mush and kind of flavorless, or it was undercooked in the other experience, and it just really left a lot to be desired. But it comes from the beef shank, so the lower leg of the cow, and that means there's a big bone in the middle. That bone has marrow, which is very special, and it's also got connective tissue. Now, low and slow is great for cooking things with connective tissue because you break that connective tissue down, you hydrolyze it. It's a chemical process whereby collagen and other proteins are broken down to form gelatin. Now, if you think meat jello sounds gross, just wait. You got to try it. It sounds gross, but tastes absolutely amazing. It's just this unctuous texture in your mouth. It's really, really good. And I want to create some barbecue smoked flavor on the outside. I want to taste the beef, and I want to create a better version of the dish that I've had a couple times that I was disappointed by both times. So the prep process on this is going to be very simple. I'm going to season with kosher salt and black pepper because I want to taste that beef. And then we're going to put it on the smoker at about 200 degrees for an hour, then 250 for an hour, and then 275 until the bark sets firmly. And then I'm going to wrap it in aluminum foil. Now, normally for beef, I'm wrapping in butcher paper, but because I want to maintain the integrity of this thing, I don't want to dry it out. It doesn't have a ton of marbling, but it's got a lot of connective tissue. I want to capture all that in the foil, and I want to make sure that I don't get rid of the marrow that's in these bones because that is a key feature that you want to maintain when cooking Ossobuco. That's the whole reason we're doing Ossobuco and not just chunks of beef from the lower leg. So let me get these out of the package. We'll season them up, we'll get them on, and we'll start creating bark. And then, something I don't commonly do, I'm going to show you how I like to make another dish that I think goes along with this perfectly. Now, typically, you could do this with a risotto or a polenta or something like that, but I'm not Italian. I'm not pretending to be. I'm going to do it with mashed potatoes. I'm going to show you my favorite way to make mashed potatoes. This is something I think some people in culinary school I told about because they asked me about it, but I haven't shared this publicly. This is the absolute best way I have ever found to make mashed potatoes. No offense to my mom. The way she makes it is great. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm not saying this is better than your way. It's just my favorite way. And I think if you guys try it, you'll like it too. So let's get these out of the package and get started.
So this is beef? Is it cow?
Yeah, it's beef.
I didn't know if it was ox or something. I don't know why I thought it was ox.
Ox is just... Oxen are simply cattle that are used for draft animal purposes, I think. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but yeah, oxen. Also, a very weird plural in the English language. Reminds me a lot more of German. Oxen. The farmer took his oxen to the field. And if anybody remembers Oregon Trail, I remember we had oxen in Oregon Trail. And I also remember whenever we go shoot buffalo, it's like, you shot 21,000 pounds of meat. You can carry 100 pounds. And it would never stop me from like shooting 800 buffalo. Regardless, if somebody can fact check me in the comments, that would be cool. Because I have to confess, I'm not exactly sure on that oxen versus cattle distinction. I think it's the same thing because I think it's from the same head of beef that you get oxtails for, oxtail soup or whatever. As a matter of fact, I got some Porter Road oxtails in my freezer right now that I'm planning to cook next week. And I don't think they have specifically oxen. It's just a mystery of the universe, but I'm sure somebody knows. Now I'm going to put them on the solution at about 200 degrees for the first hour, then 250, then 275. It's going to rain. It's been about 90 minutes. We're cooking at 250 now. So let's take a look at these and see how we're doing. We're at the stage of deep red color. I want them to get just a little bit darker, and then we can wrap them and get them tender. I wonder how many of you guys out there have seen the Brian Regan Stupid in School bit, which is one of my absolute favorites of all time. He recounts a story, probably fictional, about when he was in school and his teacher asks him, "Hey Brian, how do you make a word a plural?" He's like, you put a S at the end of it. And the teacher apparently doesn't like him and is like, "No, let me show you, Brian." And asks this kid named Irwin. It's like, "Irwin, what's the plural of ox?" It's like, "Oxen. The farmer used his oxen." And so then she says, "Brian, what's the plural for box?" He's like, "Boxen. I ate 2 boxen of donuts." That's great. He has the spelling bee thing in there. It's like, all right, kids, up against the wall. Time for public humiliation. Highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. As the ossobuco gets close to wrapping, we're going to let this water come up to a boil. I'm going to peel these potatoes, cube them, and then boil them so that they get tender. Usually it's a temperature about 208 to 211. After I boil them, and this is very important, I'm going to take them out of the water and let them cool and begin to dry on a tray. That drying process is going to concentrate the potato flavor. One other important note is that when I boil those potatoes, I'm going to use these Parmesan rinds and I'm going to throw them in the water because I think it starts to infuse the potatoes with a little bit of umami. I can't prove that, but experientially, anecdotally, that seems to be true. And then we're going to get some heavy cream. We're going to reduce it by half. The 3 liquids we're going to use are going to be that double cream, we're going to use milk, and then we're going to use some butter to get the consistency and richness just right. So, time to start peeling some potatoes. While the potatoes are cooking and that cream is reducing, we're going to wrap the ossobuco in aluminum foil with a generous scoop of tallow on top, and we're going to take them to tenderness, probably about 205 degrees. It's time to plate our ossobuco. If I can get my wife to stop eating these mashed potatoes, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't tried it, try it. They are really, really good. I'm literally fighting my wife away. So first, we're going to start with the mashed potatoes. We're going to put some of those right in the middle of the plate. Ossobuco on top. And Erica cooked some Brussels sprouts and some carrots. And so we're going to add those. And then a little bit of parsley on top. And then we're going to taste this. And I have a really good feeling about it. I think it's going to be awesome. smells incredible. We got our smoked ossobuco, then we have the delicious mashed potatoes. Highly encourage you to try those. We have the vegetables that my wife roasted, carrots and Brussels sprouts. This beef I know is gonna be super high quality. It's from Porter Road. This video is sponsored by Porter Road, and if you guys haven't tried their meat, you guys need to. If you're used to commodity beef, you try this Porter Road beef, it's gonna be significantly more flavorful. Commodity beef is gonna taste like cardboard in comparison to the real pasture-raised beef that you're gonna get from Porter Road. They're using the highest quality genetics and they're using the highest quality raising practices, and then they do individual seam butchery, so you get all kinds of cuts like this that you're not gonna find at the local grocery store. So check them out. I've been using their stuff for years. It's my absolute favorite, and absolutely positively do not sleep on the pork. They're using a cross between two heritage breeds, and they are absolutely phenomenal. Like their pork ribs, it's just so good. You actually get flavor from pork rather than being this flavorless thing that might be part of the ribs or part of the pork, but it actually has genuine flavor and actually some marbling in there. So check out the link in the description. You'll order from them and they'll ship the meat directly to your house. You don't even have to go anywhere. It's just gonna show up, and guess what? Bonanza. You're gonna be really impressed with the meat, and you're gonna be ordering from them again because it's just so much better than what you're getting at grocery stores. All that being said, it's time to dig into this. I am looking forward to it. All right, I know you're supposed to eat this with a knife and fork, so I didn't cook it until it fall apart, but it is nice and tender. I was actually concerned I wouldn't be able to get it out of the wrap and put it on here without falling apart, so.
Show it close up to the camera.
Mission accomplished. Oh, I already got mashed potatoes all over this. Looks like I'm gonna have to eat it and try again to show it to the camera. Oh. That is so good. Oh, so rich. You taste beef, you taste smoke. That is exactly what I want to see. Got a nice smoke ring on both sides. They're actually almost touching because this is a thin cut. And then we see this connective tissue. It started to break down and make that gelatin that I was talking about, which makes every bite super succulent. So good. Mashed potatoes. Oh. This is so good. I guarantee you I'm eating this whole thing. No, I'm getting it wrong.
Excuse me.
I haven't eaten since lunch.
I'm gonna stay out. God, neither have I.
As my pappy used to say, you can't beat that with a stick. What do you think? Mm-hmm. It was way better than that Italian restaurant. No offense to the Italians, but man, this is so good.
There's like a mix between pork and brisket.
Yeah, it's got a different flavor, but it's just really... Oh, are you going to steal that one too?
Cut that for me?
Yes, of course I cut that for you. I mean, obviously I did. Creamy mashed potatoes and with the crispy Brussels sprouts. Yeah, it's so good. It's freaking good. I almost forgot the marrow. I got to do one bite with the marrow really quick. Oh, smokier and richer. Man, that is good. That was the best bite I've had so far. This was absolutely amazing. Actually better than I hoped for. I thought it was going to be good, but this impressed me. If you guys want to get your hands on some of this Ossobuco, click on that link in the description. Go check out Porter Road. They make incredible stuff. I actually have a video where I went to one of their farms and they're raising their animals ethically, which just so happens to have the benefit of it makes the meat taste better, which is what I'm about. So check out that link in the description. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and you can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, everything at Mad Scientist BBQ. I'll see you next time. These mashed potatoes.